In this lecture, we will learn how to link two resources together by making use of resource attributes. In the last few lectures, we saw how to use variables to improve the reusability of our code. Right now, we have two resources in our configuration file. Each of this resource has a set of arguments that are used to create that resource. For the file resource, we have used the file name and content as the arguments. And for the pet resource, we have used the prefix, separator, and length. When this configuration is applied, Terraform creates a file and a random pet resource. The name of the random pet is displayed on the screen as an ID, which is Mr. Bull in this case. As it stands, there is no dependency between these two resources. But this rarely ever happens in a real-world infrastructure provisioning process. There are bound to be multiple resources that are dependent on each other. So, what if we want to make use of the output of one resource and use it as an input for another one? What if we want the content of the file to use the name generated by the random pet resource? Currently, the content of the file is set to "My favorite pet is Mr. Cat." But what if we want it to be set to the name that is generated by the random pet resource? To understand this, let us jump back to the documentation for the random pet resource in registry.terraform.io. You would have noticed that there are plenty of examples which are provided in the documentation, including examples for the arguments, but there is also a section called Attribute Reference, which provides the list of attributes returned back from the resource after you run a Terraform apply. In this case, the random pet resource returns just one attribute called ID, which is of type string. The ID is the pet name generated after we run Terraform apply, as we have seen before. Our goal is to make use of the attribute called ID and to make use of it as the content of the local file resource. For this, we can make use of an expression like this. This expression is used to reference the attribute from the resource called myPet. The syntax for using this reference expression is resource type followed by the resource name and the attribute to be used, all of which are separated by a period or a dot. The resource type in this example is random pet. This is followed by myPet, which is the resource name, and the attribute used is ID. You would have also noticed that we are making use of the dollar symbol followed by the expression which is enclosed within curly braces. This is known as an interpolation sequence. Since the content argument already uses a string type data, this sequence is used to evaluate the expression given within the curly braces, convert the result to a string, and then insert it to the final string, like this. Now, let us apply the changes made and allow Terraform to recreate the local file. In the output, you can see that the content is being replaced to our desired value, and it contains the name of the pet that was generated by the random pet resource. That's it for this lecture. Now, let's head over to the hands-on labs and explore working with reference expressions and resource attributes in Terraform.